Hello and happy Memorial Day. I want to do a real quick video on something that's been bugging me a bit, pet peeve, about the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day. Two American holidays, both related to honor the military. One is meant to honor those that died in conflict or in the line of duty while in their service, and the other one's to honor all of the rest of us that wore the uniform for better or worse, but lived through it, beat up or banged up or not. There's a big difference. And the big difference is, quite frankly, Memorial Day honors a group of people who gave their lives mostly in their youth, very young, didn't have a choice, most of them, and they weren't so lucky. They didn't get through it. Or they might have gotten through it and died from mental wounds or physical wounds afterwards. But their service got them killed. And that's different from the rest of us who served just as honorably, I'm sure. But we're fortunate, either we didn't serve during wartime or we served during wartime but lived through it. You know, for us veterans, I'm a 20-year veteran in the Army, and I was infantry, I was armor, and I was very fortunate. You know, I didn't really do anything heroic or anything, but I'm a veteran, as are quite a few of my friends. What I'm seeing is why I'm giving this little pitch, is I'm seeing some veterans and some people, I think they don't know better, know the difference. They're starting like a trend to meld the two, Memorial Day and Veterans Day, kind of becoming the same thing where we just celebrate everything military service. I'm seeing on social media, some people, not many, a few posting pictures of themselves in uniform or their family members in uniform. And there's nothing wrong with that. But Memorial Day, the focus is on the fallen, because they're not here. The past and present, they're not here to wave any flags or post any John Wayne pictures of themselves when they were young and in shape and wearing a uniform and, had it all going on in that way. They didn't make it through. They didn't make it. Memorial Day is for them. The silent. The ones that aren't sitting here making videos. And or weren't 50 years ago cooking out and chugging beers with their family and friends. Memorial Day, we've celebrated it here in America, I think since 1870. It was really meant to honor the Civil War veterans on both sides, and you can look this up. It was meant to honor the fallen from our Civil War and all wars, and specifically to honor the fallen. And this hat, this Army hat that I found, and I got his medals. This guy's long gone. This guy served in World War II, and I have his medals. He really saw some stuff, because I kind of know my World War II history. This man was on Anzio beachhead in Italy with the Americans, and that was a slaughterhouse. The Americans walked right into a trap. He lived through it. He was on some other campaigns. He was in North Africa. He lived through it. He lived through the whole World War II experience in the Army. But he's a veteran, a combat veteran, but he's a veteran. It's for all those that didn't live through it. Right up to this week, we've probably got men and women in the military that have given their life. We've got other veterans who wound up, because of physical or mental injuries from their service, taking their life, sadly. And honestly, this is just from myself, but there's always men and women that are killed in training missions. I know in 20 years, I've seen multiple people get killed just training, shot, drowned, blown up, you name it. Yeah, it's a tough job. It really is. You don't even have to be in a combat zone. It's dangerous being in the military most of the time. So Memorial Day is for the fallen. Let's not take the focus off who it's for. All us veterans, we get our day of glory. Beers to you on Veterans Day. If you're going to raise a glass to the military on Memorial Day, let it be to the fallen. The focus is on them. I don't keep holding this hand. Sorry. But yeah, and my dad was in World War II, my grandfather in World War I. We had people on both sides of the Civil War, and they all lived through it. They both were injured, but they lived through it. Who knows? My family's been in this country since 1609 in Virginia. They were some of the first white people to set foot here in Jamestown. But as far as I know, they all lived through it all. So that's all. Oh, this is my COVID-19. We got to wear the mask in New York State, which is really something. I just got back from the store because I had to pick up some steaks and some brew because I plan to cook out back. And originally I made this video out back because it's nice out. It's really kind of hot out. But my neighbors are having some kind of a shindig next door, and it's kind of leaking into this. But just remember Memorial Day, who it's about. It's great to honor your veterans, past and present, your family and friends who served in the military, and I guess if you need, I don't need any thanks for my military service. I personally am not looking for any credit or any thanks. I got paid. I got through it. For the most part, they were good years for me. Some of it really blew, but you gotta expect that. Memorial Day and Remembrance Day for you Brits. That's for the fallen. That we would remember them and their sacrifice, cut down in their youth. And quite often, fighting in conflicts they probably had no inclination to be in, but they did it anyway, out of a sense of duty, or whatever. Who knows what people's motives are? You're talking about millions of people. Let me tell you, you get all kinds of characters. And good guys, bad guys, brave people, cowards. You get all kinds of people thrown in together in the same uniform, same age group, psychos and pacifists, crazies and brainiacs, quiet guys and the loudmouths, and you name it. Quite a mix-up, all races. But most of them are all young people. And I can tell you, when you're a younger person, you're out, at least for myself, your outtake, your worldview is a lot different than when you get older. So happy Memorial Day, and let's try to, I just want to put this out to do my part, to try to halt this mixing of Veterans Day observations with Memorial Day observations. They're two distinct events to honor two distinct sets of military people, the fallen and those that lived through it. Veterans Day. That's kind of confused, but I just wanted to do a talk. I think you get my point. Have a good day, and yeah, enjoy.